Hi, my name is Jessica.
My name is Amanda.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm going to be your social worker working with you. Can you tell me a little bit about what brings you in here today?
My husband died 4 months ago, so my employer referred me here to this program. He want me to see a counselor, so that's why I'm here today.
Okay. I'm going to be taking a few notes if that's okay with you, just to kind of keep track of what's going on. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So before we get to kind of talking about what you're here for today, I want to kind of get some housekeeping out of the way. So first, have you been to counseling before?
No.
Okay. So I can tell you a little bit about the process. We're going to meet, discuss some challenging topics. So I just want you to be aware that everything we talk about together is confidential, except in a case of whether I thought that your safety or another person's safety might be at risk. Also, if I get a subpoena or a court order. Also, I'm a mandated reporter, so if I suspect that there might be abuse going on, I might have to report that. Does that make sense? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. But along those lines, you also have the right to see your file or my notes at any point. So if you would like to see what I'm writing down or what's in your file, you're welcome to. I also just want to let you know that even though the block that we have set up for our meeting is 60 minutes, it's actually only going to be 50 minutes of us talking because of just scheduling issues. So if that all makes sense, I'd love to move on and we can discuss more about what's going on with you in your life. So does that all clear for you? Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. All right, so let's go back to talking about you. Can you tell me a little bit more about kind of what you're feeling, how this loss has been affecting you in your life?
My husband died 4 months ago.
Okay.
But I still don't know what to do with my life. We've been together for almost 40 years.
Okay.
And then recently, after he died, I don't know what to do. I just stay at home. I think about him all the time. Even though I spent his last time with him, I know his situation is bad. I know this day will finally come.
Right.
But I just don't know how to deal with it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Now I'm just all alone in this world. I just don't know what to do.
Do you have any children in the area?
Yeah, I have a son and a daughter.
Oh, great. So are they grown up already? Are they still young? Are they living with you?
They are grown up. They have their own families. So I live by myself.
Okay. Do you ever get the opportunity to talk with them on the phone or have some visits with them?
Yeah, my children, they call me all the time, daily. But I just think that I feel like it's annoying. They just keep telling me to go out to see a counselor, to whatever. They just want me to get out of the house. But I really don't want to. So it's annoying. We argue all the time.
That's too bad. So it sounds like it feels like they're not understanding where you're coming from in this situation. Yeah. They don't understand your feelings.
Yeah.
Okay, that's hard. Is it comforting at all to hear their voices and kind of have someone to talk to that's also experiencing this loss? Or has it just been not helpful?
I don't know. Talk to my kids. They just push me to do things which I don't want to do. So I don't think it's helpful.
Okay. And then how about work? Do you have a job right now, or sounds like you're at home a lot, but do you go to work during the day?
Actually, I have a job, but since my husband's condition is not good, so my boss gave me the vacation to spend time with him. But after my husband died, I didn't go back to work, so I stayed home and spent the rest of the vacation by myself. But even though it's been 4 months, I don't think I'm ready to go back to work yet.
Okay.
My boss said if I don't go back to work in a month, they're gonna have to let me go.
Okay. Would you like to go back eventually? Does that feel like something that might be helpful for you, or do you think it's too much at this point?
I think it's too much.
Okay.
If I go back to work, people gonna ask how you're doing.
Right.
They have this sympathy face. I don't want to deal with it, and I have to answer all these questions.
Right.
And I have to say how my husband died, how I've been these days. I just don't want to deal with it.
So you feel like it might be kind of retreading old territory and bringing back some of those feelings by having to talk about it all the time. Okay. It sounds like it might be helpful to do something even at home that might give you some pleasure or some relaxation that might take some of these negative feelings, make them maybe a little bit less oppressive for you. Do you have any hobbies? Do you like to do yoga or draw or play an instrument? Is there anything like that you think might calm you or make you a little bit maybe better your mood a little bit?
I am not an art person, but I used to knit. So I used to knit rug and gloves for my children and my husband, but I didn't do anything lately.
Okay.
So when I'm home, I'm just gonna lie on my couch and maybe look at some photo album or watch TV, but it's just to remind me of my husband.
Right.
Yeah, we've been lived there for more than 30 years in their house. So every room I go into, I see him there. So, but he's not there.
Right. That's very hard. It might be helpful if maybe you were to purchase some yarn again and start knitting a little bit. Maybe try it out and see if it helps a little bit. It also sounds like you're spending a lot of your time by yourself, and I think that especially in times of grief, being around other people is very therapeutic. So I realize that your relationship with your children has been a little bit strained because they're annoying you about seeing a counselor and also not being very compassionate about how you're feeling. So are there other people in your life that you think might be a comfort to you? Friends or relatives?
We the friends we have, we share the friends together.
Mm-hmm.
We are a happy couple, so we normally social together. Like we go to the church together.
Mm-hmm.
We have friends come to our apartment, and we will go to their house to have parties, to chat. But normally we do that together. So I don't want to face those friends by myself.
So it sounds like a lot of the things in your life that have been enjoyable for you in your past now seem to remind you of your times with your husband.
Yeah.
So they're bringing up memories. Okay.
Yes.
I see. Would doing a little bit of knitting be something you'd be open to? Maybe bringing that pleasurable hobby back into your life?
Yeah, maybe I used to enjoy them very much.
Okay.
It helps me calm down.
That'd be a great option. Also, I'm wondering if expressing your frustration with your children might be helpful and letting them know that their attitude towards you and your feelings isn't helpful and is in fact making things worse for you. So have you ever thought about kind of voicing those concerns with your children and letting them know?
No, they are just being unreasonable. So they upset me so much. Sometimes we just can't talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it might be good at some point. Maybe, I mean, if you guys have been arguing a lot recently, maybe take a few days, let things cool off. But it might be beneficial for you to kind of let them know how you're feeling and tell them that their insistence that you see a counselor and their criticizing you for being so down about the death of your husband. Maybe if they understood how those behaviors were affecting you, they'd kind of lessen that attitude. Maybe not be so harsh and not be so critical. Do you think that you might be able to open that communication with them and be honest with them about that?
I don't know if they will listen to me. They just, yeah, like I said, they're unreasonable lately.
Right.
I don't know what's wrong with them.
They might also be having a hard time with your husband's death, but perhaps they're like expressing it in a different way. It may not seem that way, but maybe this is their way of coping.
I never thought it like this, but maybe you have a point. Sometimes I feel angry that they kind of just live their lives and criticize me or feel sad about my husband. But they raised my children for so many years. They just, I think they're unreasonable. I never really thought maybe I'll think about it.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, it might be good to kind of open those gates of communication a little bit more with them. It might be comforting for you. So I think I have a good idea of what is kind of going on and what we will discuss for future sessions.
Okay.
Just to kind of review, you told me that you're struggling with the loss of your husband, and it's been hard for you to kind of continue with things like your job and your religious life and your social life. So you'd like to kind of work on ways to integrate back into those parts of your life now that your husband is no longer here. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So our session is coming to a close, but I wanted to check in and make sure you have no other questions for me. Are you feeling good at this point?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to give you my office phone number and also my email address. So if any other questions come up, just let me know. And I will also take phone calls if like an emergency comes up for you. But on the weekends or on holidays, I'd encourage you to call 911. I have a voice message on my phone, so you'll hear our procedures in terms of emergencies. And also, if you'd like to schedule your next appointment, you can meet with the receptionist out in the waiting room, and she can schedule your next appointment.
Okay.
Well, it was lovely meeting you, and I look forward to seeing you at our next session.
Okay, it's nice meeting you too.
Thank you.